right, everybody. Welcome back to USSC Stories, man. It's been a minute. You know, we took some time off for the holidays, like everyone should. But it does feel good
Right.
getting back on this recording, man. So, Mike, it's good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, brother.
Yeah. So before we
Good to
start,
see you,
man,
man.
I gotta shout out a Kia store, man. They fixed my hood in my car. I had a deer run into my car, and so Kia Store East.
Ali.
Yeah, Kia Store East in Louisville, man. They fixed up my hood right next to the St. Matthews Mall. So if anyone's around the Louisville area, go check them out. They'll fix you up, buy a car from them, whatever. They're good peoples. So I just had to say that
Yeah,
first and
man.
foremost. But anyways, Mike, what are we talking about today, buddy?
Man, so I've been doing some little research and stuff, and I kind of came across this article, couple articles actually on Naval Times about sexual assault, right? So there
Okay.
was one article. It was a woman that was like pretty much kind of accusing the Navy of not really pushing the sexual assault agenda as much as they should, and not giving victims that fair chance, whatever. Then another article saying that they're going to actually expand the statute of limitation for most, rape cases or sexual assault cases. And I mean, there's one that's already dated back from 1998 that they're pursuing. So
Whew,
I'm not
shit.
sure how far back they pushed it, but they going back, man.
That's like what, 22 years, some shit? Gosh.
Yeah, crazy. So I mean, you got to think about the person who was convicted, right?
Yeah.
22 years. They was charged on it, got away with it. Then 22 years later, now that same issue is coming back up, man.
Yeah,
So
man. I mean, well, if they actually did it,
cool.
then fuck them, you know. You know.
Yeah, kudos to the actual victim that's stepping up and wanting to get justice for whatever happened, man. But damn, 22 years later,
Yeah.
like I don't
Like
know, man. That
how would
shit's
they
rough.
even like 22 years later, like how would they do investigations and stuff like that after 22 years, you know, like how would that work? You
Right.
know, I'm just out of curiosity, like does new evidence
I ain't
pop
no,
up or something?
like I
Like,
said,
you know,
who knows? Man, it's like DNA. I ain't no expert, and I don't know how fucking long DNA lasts for. The test 22 years later, I'm pretty sure DNA at that point ain't all that great. But I mean, who knows? Who fucking knows, man?
dude, imagine that, dude, like 22 years later, like you think you're all fucking fine and Gucci and shit, and then like Supreme Court comes around like, hey, buddy, so 22 years ago, you done this and this and this, and you're like, what the fuck?
Right, right. You can be sitting there fucking grocery shopping and shit. Get home, have a fucking perfect ass day. Then you get served with papers. Yeah,
Oh,
you getting sued. Reopen investigation on that ass, man.
jeez, that's
Like,
rough, man.
yeah, dude, that's rough, bro.
Um,
But I don't know, man. Like, how would your like? What would be your takes on just like sexual assault within the not just the Navy but the military in general? Because I've seen instances where there was people that legit had situations going on. Then there was some of the people that cried wolf. And I've seen the people that cried wolf. There's a higher percentage of those people that actually get their cases move forward than the people that was actually in that situation. They kind of like they kind of brush theirs under the rug or not really care about them.
yeah, man. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that cry wolf. You know, they just lie about what the fuck happened to them, and
Right.
you know, shit can go wrong for that wrongfully accused person. You know, I think you and
Yeah.
I've seen that when we were in Charleston. Um, People getting kicked out of the Navy, and then turns out later on they were falsely accused. So, you know, that shit happens.
Yeah.
But at the same page, you know, sexual assault's a real fucking deal. You know, it happens
Yeah.
everywhere. Military, civilian world doesn't, you know, either one of those.
Right.
So, I mean, shit does need to be taken seriously. You know.
Yeah. I think just for the military, it ain't really publicized or talked about that much because they always try to uphold an image. So if the image don't look good, they don't. It don't hit one. It don't hit national news. Then it's not going to hit large enough to where it look like you got a stain on the military. Like
Yeah,
they're gonna try to handle it the best they can. Or they're
in
gonna let the
house.
shit go or pursue on it. Yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I've seen a lot of those cases, man.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess with everything happening nowadays, the fucking Jeff Epstein, all kinds of bullshit, you know, and you know, you got the one chick that was found raped and murdered in Fort Hood or something like that a little while ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it turns out like
Vanessa
there's
something or something like that, right?
yeah. I can't remember her name, but yeah, it's a shitty story, but you know, stuff like that's popping up. So I mean, them expanding the statute of limitations. I mean, it kind of makes sense a bit, you know.
Right. That whole Fort Hood situation, man. Where the fuck was the command at for that? Because she was missing for like 2-3 months.
Right.
Like,
you know, Fort Hood's a huge fucking.
it didn't take.
It's a huge base, but it, you know, that's no excuse for people not keeping account of their people. You know.
Right. That shit just mind boggling as fuck. Like they didn't start doing the search until this shit hit like news. So there ain't no telling how long she was actually missing for. Because the news was circulating for like a couple months. So like I said, from that time frame, there ain't no telling how long she was actually missing for or whatever. And like I said, man, command ain't do shit. Like from the media standpoint, command didn't really do anything to find this woman. So
you know,
that's just rough.
You never know. I mean, the media is the media. It could be that the fucking command was looking the entire time, you know, and that was all they were doing was looking for her. Or it could be exactly what the media said. But, you know, you got to take the media with a grain of salt, especially nowadays. They'll say whatever the fuck they want to say, you know. But yeah, it's a shitty story, man. You know, young girl, fucking. Yeah. I don't know if she was raped or what, but I know she was fucking brutally murdered and stuff.
Brutally murdered, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the dude that killed her, he ended up killing himself too, I think, from what I heard.
I think so. I think I heard that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, who did it? He killed himself. I'm pretty sure there was more people involved too, though.
Oh, I bet.
Some more people involved, but
I bet.
I don't know. It's just wild, man.
It's a shitty business, yeah.
But then, right, and like going back to the victims and everything, like the people that cried wolf, like being in Charleston, like you said, man, there was a situation that I was a part of where the woman was engaged. She was engaged to her boyfriend for like a year, something like that. He was on one of those like night studies, so he had to be at school at night to study, even on the weekends. So it was one of those things where she was getting up like a group of dudes, but they were kind of like planning a little hotel party. Drugs, alcohol, all the works, you know, whatever, right? Fucking sex toys and shit, like whatever they come up with.
Yeah.
Then while they in fucking hotel room, shit went down, stuff was being recorded. So maybe like a month later, it circulated around the schoolhouse. Fiance got caught wind of it. Next thing you know, she's crying. Not I'll say crying wolf, but she's calling out. She was sexually assaulted and everything. She was blacked out, drunk, and drugs, and she didn't realize what was going on. And she forgot about the whole night or whatever. Like, all right, a whole month later though. And then
it makes you suspicious, man.
Right.
You know, it could have been that's the case, but I don't think so. You know, I don't think so at all. I think she was a little horny ass girl and she wanted to get rammed and she did. And she was just sorry that she got caught, you know? And then I bet those dudes that she cried wolf about got fucking kicked out or some bullshit.
Oh yeah. They got the business, man. They got the whole 9 yards punishment, kicked out, you know, dishonorable discharge, all that shit. And then she's still in to this day.
Mm-hmm. Was it ever found out if she actually just cried wolf, or was she actually sexually assaulted, or what? Was that
she reported that she cried wolf before they went to the whole captain's mask thing, but whoever was handling the captain's mask is like whoever was in charge of they do like the investigation, the findings and everything like that. So who was over in charge of it was like, hey, it's too late. If we do this and turn everything around, we're gonna look like assholes. So you gotta go forward with what you did.
So she cried wolf, and then she got cold feet about crying wolf, but it was too late.
Too late.
And then everyone's fucking careers down the drain, man.
So long, so far, man. Everybody else is out fucking, like you said, out.
It does life is
fucked.
Dude, it does. Yeah, it does such a huge disservice. Well, for the dudes, right? I mean, they're all scumbags to begin with for fucking around, but whatever, But it does an even bigger disservice for actual sexual assault victims, right? Because now, maybe they won't be taken as seriously. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's really rough, because if they were actually fucking raped and someone's just like, you just crying wolf, you know what I'm saying? Like it desensitizes people's thoughts towards them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's definitely because you got to think about it too. Like even look at what was going on with like Bill Cosby. I was gonna say R. Kelly, but Epstein, Weinstein, yeah, with Epstein, Weinstein, like all these other celebrities. There was like a period. Like each day, there was a new celebrity that came out with some type of statute of limitation type rape, or there was some sexual assault that happened in the Me Too movement, and it was so many people it was so accessible to be like, oh shoot, that motherfucker touched me too,
Yeah.
And then there's motherfuckers there's some sick motherfuckers out there. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like that opened the floodgates for a lot of people to be like, oh yeah, me too.
Yeah, like a jump on a hype train kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like it sucks, because there are going to be the people that were honest and like, yeah, he raped me or something. But then for every one of them, you got 10 other people that didn't happen, but they want to, have their 10 minutes of fucking fame. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or 15 minutes of fame, whatever the fuck.
So that makes your allegations look like, you just like everybody else. You just saying it just to say it at this point. So it does, like you said, it does a disservice and desensitize people and fucking even believe in the stories now.
Yeah, it sucks, man. So what else did we have that we were going to talk about here? So early outs for people in the Navy, or I guess just in the military in general, but specifically for us for the Navy. Yeah. Early outs for your rates being overmanned. So rates being yeoman, A-gang, whatever the fucking case may be, nav, div, whatever the fuck. So you have too many people in that certain rate. You can't advance because you have so many people in that certain rate. So they offer you the chance to get out early, just because you're not going to make it, basically is what it is, right? Something like that.
Right. So it's kind of the way I kind of seen how it was broken down. You pretty much got to damn near fulfill your whole contract, but I think depending on what level of your contract, you get there's so many months. I think if you do like a 4-year contract, you can get out 6 months earlier, some shit like that, or you can, if you was in 3 years, you get out either 4. I think like anywhere between 4 to 6 months earlier, depending on how overmanned your rate was and all this other shit. But you don't get you get pretty much kind of the same perks. You still get the GI Bill, but you get your GI Bill for how many months that you served.
Oh, okay.
So if you only serve 30 months, then your ass only getting 30 months of the GI Bill.
Yeah, I could see some people, making use of that. Like fucking corpsmen, they don't fucking ever advance. Fucking yeoman subs after like once you hit like Y&2, it's hard to hit Y&1, hard to hit chief. Yeah, there's some race that could probably do okay with that. Unfortunately, there's race that are just so fucking overmanned that it's just way too competitive.
Like machinist mates and damn bosun's mates and shit like that. Like them rates with just so many people. Yeah, advancement just fucking sucks.
Yeah.
So you get that option. So you gotta.
You know,
Oh yeah.
I could see it. You know, I could see why it's a good thing. Um, you know, who would want to stay in their own rate for however long if you're not going to advance? You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I get it. I get it.
Especially if you get phased out because they got that the high year tenure shit
That's
to
right.
where
Yeah. Hmm.
certain ranks you only can be that rank for so long. I
Yeah.
think for E4 was what 6 years, 8 years. You can be an E4 for 8 years, and
Yeah.
they if you don't advance, hey, they go ahead and they give you the boot because
Hmm.
you couldn't advance, which is kind of fucked up in a sense. You think about it, right?
Yeah.
Like there's too many people in this goddamn rate. I can't advance, so just because I can't advance, you can be like, you know what? We don't need you no more, man.
Yeah. I think
Like,
E5 was what? E5 was like 12 or 16 years, somewhere around there, right?
it was like 12. It was like 12 or 14 years, something like
Yeah, somewhere around there for E5. And I think E6 you can actually retire as an E6.
that. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, E6 you were good, but every other rate, if you didn't hit that certain period, it's like, yeah, go ahead, man. I'm holler at you. Which is
right.
it's crazy. And I've never met anybody get. I think I met one person get it, and they got out. They got forced out for I think hitting. There was E5, and there was an E5 with damn gold chevrons, man. And I was like, I've never seen an
E5 with the
E5 with
gold
gold
chevrons?
chevrons.
Whew, shit.
With gold chevrons, bro. I was like, yo, you was there too damn long to get
Man.
gold chevrons, and he never made first, and they end up pretty much like forced retiring him. But I don't know. I think he got a severance and everything like that too, though.
I
So like he
bet.
got hooked up on his way out. But
Hmm.
yeah, that shit's crazy. 14 years of service, and you 6 years away from retirement, and then they're like, I'm sorry.
Shit. Yeah.
I never
One of the
understood like, my bad, man.
one of the
Oh
other
no, go ahead.
things one of the other things I've seen only once before is the gold boomer pin, right? So
Mhm.
everyone on the boomers, right? When you
Right.
do your first patrol on boomers, you get your boomer pin, silver boomer pin. When you
Yeah.
do, I think it's like 20 patrols, you get a golden boomer pin. I've seen one guy get it. He was a senior chief, and he got that shit. Like he never did short duty once. He just constantly sea duty, constantly, and
So
it was
for
like
for a patrol, my bad, for a patrol for y'all, it's like, what is that? When y'all go out to sea, is that considered a patrol?
the patrol
Or
deployment. Yeah, it's
okay,
call it
okay,
patroller deployment. Yeah. Um, so
gotcha.
yeah, you would go out for 3 months or so at a time. But you got to think like so you go out for 3 months and then you'd come back to shore and you'd usually be on shore like refit for like a month and a half, maybe 2 months. Then the other crew would go out for 3 months and then they would come back and you do another 2 month refit. So realistically, you're only really going out to sea once or twice a year. So
Right.
to do 20 patrols, that stacks up. You know what I'm saying?
That's yes, that stacks up. So yeah, shore duty was out the fucking question for him. He must have hated his life, man. There ain't no way in hell I could be out to sea for that long,
Man, he must have loved sea duty, man. I don't know. I've met some people that didn't want to do anything else but go to sea, man. I could never understand it. I couldn't understand it.
man. I don't know. Some people got that itch. I was gonna end up being one of them people, man, because I think after my first tour, I was like, man, I think I'm just gonna do another year on the boat. Like not do another year, do another boat tour. But I think towards the end of my boat tour, I was like, yo, fuck this. I'm about to go to shore duty and enjoy my life, man.
Yeah, man.
Because
It was the end of my shore duty or my sea duty. I was actually just going to get out of the Navy, but my chief convinced me to stay in for another couple years to do some shore duty. So I did that.
yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to? What was the thing we had to reenlist and then go back to sea for like a year or something like that? I don't know what it was called, but I was like, no, I don't want to
Oh,
do
it
that
was
shit.
like some
So you
some
can,
type of extension or something like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you continue getting sub pay and all that. So I was like, no, I don't want to
Yeah.
do that shit. I don't want to go back out to sea. They're like, you sure? Because you're
Right.
probably going to go back to sea. I'm like, no, I'm not going out to sea. And I never did.
Man, if any of y'all watching this, man, if y'all have had somebody, know somebody that has done consecutive sea tours or know somebody that's only done a fucking sea tour through their whole career, man, drop their name below. I'd love to get in contact with them on that shit.
Yeah, they got to be some hard motherfuckers.
Dude, they got to be the saltiest people walking around the planet Earth right now. Fucking just the shoulders off, and it's just straight salt, man. Golly.
Oh man. All right, guys.
That's crazy.
It was good coming back, talking to you guys again. I hope everyone had a good holiday, Christmas, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, all that. Mike, you got anything else to say, buddy?
Oh man, that's it, man.
All right, man. All right, guys. Well, it's been good talking to you. Until next time.
Coming up ahead now. The devil's gonna call